Happy Wednesday, Saints. Pastor Dave here with your weekly devotional for all the saints. And again, we're going to read from C.S. Lewis. This reading comes from Mere Christianity, and it is about maps. I remember once when I'd been giving a talk to the RAF, an old hard-bitten officer got up and said, "I've no use for all that stuff. Mind you, I'm a religious man too. I know there's a God. I've felt him out alone in the desert at night, the tremendous mystery. And that's just why I don't believe all your neat little dogmas and formulas about him. To anyone who's met the real thing, they all seem so petty and pedantic and unreal." Now, in a sense, I quite agreed with that man. I think he had probably had a real experience of God in the desert. And when he turned from that experience to the Christian creeds, I think he really was turning from something real to something less real. In the same way, if a man has once looked at the Atlantic from the beach and then goes and looks at a map of the Atlantic, he'll also be turning from something real to something less real. Turning from real waves to a bit of colored paper. But here comes the point. The map is admittedly only colored paper, but there are two things you have to remember about it. In the first place, it is based on what hundreds and thousands of people have found out by sailing the real Atlantic. In that way, it has behind it masses of experience just as real as the one you could have had from the beach. Only while yours is just a single glimpse, the map fits all those different experiences together. In the second place, if you want to go anywhere, the map is absolutely necessary. As long as you're content with walks on the beach, your own glimpses are far more fun than looking at the map. But the map is going to be more use than walks on the beach if you want to get to America. I think that's a fantastic reminder to me that the whole idea of being spiritual but not religious is not new. Have you heard that phrase before? I'm spiritual but not religious. It's something that people sometimes say to indicate that they don't really feel like they fit in with the church crowd. They don't really want to be involved in all of the doctrine and dogma and the practices of the church. But they do still have some kind of sense of the spiritual that they've experienced themselves. And I think that is perfectly valid, that people can experience and encounter God in places that are not the church. But as Lewis says, that's only kind of a glimpse. That you only see your own perspective that way. And when you come into the family of God, into the fellowship of believers, you start to see many more perspectives. You get to see it from all different angles, and other people can share what they've experienced, where they've been, what they know, what they've come to understand, and even what they're struggling with, which may be something that you're able to help them with from your perspective. But you put all those together, and just like a map of the Atlantic, you see more that way than you do from just your own point of view. At the same time, you have a better sense of how to get where to go when you're working from someone else's collective wisdom and experience. When we say we're spiritual but not religious, I think we might say that because we feel that what we personally have experienced with God is more real and more valid. And in a way, that's actually invalidating what others have experienced. Just because it gets codified, just because it gets written down, just because it's a tradition or a repeated practice that other people have joined together in, doesn't mean it's invalid. And as Lewis points out, sometimes that makes it all the more valid because there are more people, more experiences gathered together and the wisdom that's distilled is broader and maybe truer. I hope that we will be spiritual people, but I hope we'll still be religious people in the sense that we experience God and we're willing to hear and share in the experiences of others. That's your devotional for this week, Saints. I hope it was helpful, and hope you're doing well. I'll see you again soon. God bless you.